In the ancient land of Egypt, the sun shines brightly over the cities and the majestic Nile River. But beneath the surface, there lies a tale of struggle, resilience, and the power of belief. This is the story of Moses and the 10 plagues of Egypt. Our story begins with a baby named Moses. But little did they know, this child would rise to challenge the mightiest ruler of Egypt. Within the opulent Pharaoh's palace, Moses grapples with a gnawing disquiet, his heart heavy with the suffering of his people, torn between the gilded cage of royalty and the cries of his brethren. Moses is trapped in a silent battle of conscience. The weight of privilege clashes with the cries of the oppressed, forging a storm of doubt within Moses' soul. Years later, under the relentless desert sun, Moses trudges wearily, his gaze drawn to the surreal spectacle of a burning bush ablaze yet untouched. In a moment that transcends reality, a booming voice echoes through the desert, shaking the very foundations of existence. The voice declares with divine authority, "Moses, I have heard the cries of my people." The voice continues, resolute and unwavering, commanding him to go to Pharaoh and demand their freedom. In the grandeur of the Pharaoh's throne room, Moses, with Aaron at his side, confronts the defiant ruler, setting the stage for a fateful clash of wills. With unwavering resolve, Moses issues a divine command, his voice echoing through the vast hall. "Let my people go." Pharaoh, cloaked in arrogance, scoffs at the plea, his refusal ringing with contempt. Who is this God that I should listen to him? No. The air crackles with mounting tension, as Pharaoh's refusal ignites the conflict, setting the course for a series of divine trials. On the banks of the Nile, Moses warns Pharaoh of divine retribution, his voice echoing God's wrath will come. Aaron raises his staff, a symbol of divine power, poised to unleash a cataclysmic transformation upon the lifeblood of Egypt. With a swift, decisive strike, Aaron plunges the staff into the Nile, setting in motion a horrifying metamorphosis that will forever alter the course of history. The river, once a source of life, writhes in agony as its waters transform into a thick, crimson torrent, foreshadowing the impending doom. Lifeless fish float to the surface, their silver scales reflecting the ghastly red light, a stark testament to the river's agonizing demise. Panic erupts among the citizens, their cries of terror echoing across the land as the river, their source of sustenance, becomes a river of blood. But Pharaoh's heart remains unyielding. The next warning brings a swarm of frogs. A biblical plague unleashes a torrent of frogs, turning daily life into utter chaos. Children's faces twist in confusion as the croaking chorus amplifies, their innocent world upturned by the bizarre invasion. Elders, with weary determination, attempt to restore order, their ancient wisdom tested by the relentless amphibian onslaught. The relentless croaking and jumping amplify, engulfing every corner of Egypt in a symphony of bizarre pandemonium. Still, Pharaoh refuses. Next come gnats, buzzing and itching everywhere. A relentless swarm of gnats descends, turning the bustling streets into a canvas of discomfort and irritation. The air crackles with unease as Egyptians, in a symphony of frantic gestures, succumb to the torment of incessant itching. As its unveil the raw emotion of the moment, each scratch a testament to the unbearable itch that plagues their existence. Then, swarms of flies invade, pestering the Egyptians but miraculously sparing the Israelites. Inside their homes, Egyptians desperately seek refuge, but the flies relentlessly invade, turning sanctuaries into prisons. A miraculous divide emerges as the buzzing plague halts at the threshold of the Israelites' dwellings, untouched and serene. The message is clear: God protects his people. The plagues continue, with livestock falling ill. The people are frightened, and yet, Pharaoh's heart hardens more. A relentless disease decimates the livestock, painting a grim tableau of death. Carts creak under the heavy burden of lifeless animals, their mournful journey a stark symbol of the community's overwhelming loss. Children, their innocence shattered by the pervasive tragedy. Watch, with eyes reflecting a haunting blend of sorrow and fear, embodying the collective grief of their community. The devastation echoes through the farmlands, with families struggling to cope with the loss of their precious livestock. Next, painful boils erupt on the skin of the Egyptians, a truly miserable sight. Still, Pharaoh stands firm, a plague of painful boils, turning daily life into a comical yet agonizing ordeal. Amidst the chaos, people frantically scratch and waddle, their misery and discomfort hilariously amplified. The tragedy is a whirlwind of comical despair, as each individual reaction to the boils adds to the overall sense of absurd suffering. The seventh plague brings a tremendous hailstorm, shattering windows and destroying crops, shattering the serenity of the countryside. Giant hailstones crash down in slow motion, transforming the familiar landscape into a scene of utter devastation. Townsfolk react with dramatic, exaggerated expressions of shock and despair as the hailstorm unleashes its fury. The once golden crops are mercilessly flattened as the hailstorm leaves behind a trail of destruction. After this disaster, Pharaoh remains obstinate. Then comes locusts, devouring every green thing left, descends upon the Egyptian fields, leaving desolation in their wake. Farmers gaze in despair as the ravenous horde dramatically chews through their livelihood, a stark contrast of nature's fury and man's helplessness. In the face of utter devastation, the silence is broken only by the sickening crunch of locusts feasting on the remnants of hope. The ninth plague is darkness, covering Egypt for 3 days. But in the land of Goshen, the Israelites thrive in light. Amidst the encroaching darkness, a warm golden glow radiates from the Hebrew homes, a beacon of divine protection. The stark contrast between the darkness and the golden light symbolizes the divine protection, shielding the Hebrew people from the impending doom. Inside the Israelite homes, families carry out the Passover ritual, their brushes painting doorposts with lamb's blood. In the quiet anticipation, a gentle lamb stands nearby, its fleece softly illuminated by the dim light. The last and most terrible plague arrives, the death of the firstborn. But God provided a way to save his people, the Passover. In the dimly lit chamber of the Pharaoh's palace, shadows dance around the lifeless body of the Pharaoh's son, casting a pall of unbearable grief. Kneeling beside his son, the Pharaoh's face is a mask of anguish, his regal bearing shattered by the crushing weight of loss. After an agonizing silence, the Pharaoh rises, his eyes burning with a newfound resolve amidst the profound sorrow. In a voice laced with pain and finality, the Pharaoh declares, "Moses, take your people and leave Egypt. Go now, before any more of my family suffers." Under the vast Egyptian sky, animated clouds part to reveal a sun-drenched landscape, teeming with life and the promise of new beginnings. In the distance, Pharaoh H's face registers shock and disbelief, a stark contrast to the jubilant exodus unfolding before him. As citizens wave goodbye, their farewells echo through the valley, marking the commencement of a historic exodus. At the edge of the Red Sea, the Israelites stand between hope and terror, with the dust of Pharaoh's relentless army drawing near. With unwavering faith, Moses raises his staff towards the heavens, invoking a divine intervention that promises salvation. In a display of divine power, the Red Sea dramatically splits, forming colossal walls of water and revealing a path of dry land. A beacon of hope emerges from the depths as a dry path appears, offering salvation amidst the perilous sea. The Israelites gaze in awe as the Red Sea unleashes its furious torrent upon the pursuing Egyptian army. The parted waters transform into a chaotic maelstrom of sand and sea foam, a testament to divine power. Under the scorching sun, long shadows stretch from the relieved Israelites as they witness the utter destruction of their enemies. The once parted sea becomes a watery grave for the Egyptians, marking the Israelites' miraculous deliverance. Bathed in ethereal light, Moses stands atop Mount Sinai, a solitary figure, bridging the earthly and the divine. In his hands, he holds the stone tablets, a symbol of divine law, and a covenant etched in stone. The Ten Commandments, a tangible link between God and the Israelites, promise order and hope amidst the chaos. With commanding gestures, Moses designates leaders and judges, entrusting them with the sacred duty of upholding order and justice among his people. In a moment of divine intervention, manna descends like a gentle rain, a miraculous answer to their desperate prayers. A collective gasp of astonishment and gratitude sweeps through the crowd as the desert transforms into a scene of miraculous provision. From the summit of Mount Nebo, Moses beholds the promised land, a vision shimmering with divine promise and the sweetness of fulfillment. The land, bathed in sunlight, stretches out in a tapestry of green and gold, a vibrant promise of abundance and serenity. Beneath the relentless desert sun, Moses extends his hands towards the heavens, his face a roadmap of trials and unwavering devotion. Before him, a sea of Israelite faces, a tapestry of hope and trepidation, awaits a blessing that reverberates across the barren expanse. The glistening river reflects the dawning of hope, as each step brings them closer to their divine destiny. With unwavering faith, they step onto the shores of their long-awaited inheritance, ready to embrace the promise of a new beginning. In the radiant expanse of Canaan, the Israelites find their promised haven, their journey's end, shimmering with hope and divine blessing. With hearts full of gratitude, they build their homes and cultivate the land, transforming the landscape into a testament of their enduring faith. As they establish their nation, the echoes of freedom and divine deliverance resonate through the valleys.